A community can be defined as a group of people who live in proximity to each other. But the word community has a broader significance. A community can mean more than buildings. A community can mean how people are linked together not just by proximity, but by their emotional connection. A community can be a group of people who care about each other. We are not islands, but threads, woven together with others in the fabric of a community. Ethics is what makes these threads strong. Clarissa Pinkola Estes wrote about an old black man living in the Mid-South who told her a story called One Stick, Two Stick. And it is the way, he whispered to her, of the old African kings. An old man who is dying hands his family and neighbors a sturdy stick. He tells them to break it, which they all do easily, even the smallest child. He tells them, when a soul is alone without anyone else, it can be broken. Then he hands them identical sticks in bundles of 2 or 3 or more. He asks them to break them in the bundle. Now the breaking is much more difficult, if not impossible. We are strong when we stand with another soul, he says. When we are with another, we cannot be broken. Eva Fogelman wrote about the rescuers of Jews during World War II. Rescuers were people with strengths and faults, yet they saw people who were different from them and responded not to these differences, but to their similarities. This humanitarian response sprang from a core of firmly held inner values, an acceptance of people who were different, and central to these beliefs was the conviction that what an individual did or failed to do mattered. What binds us to the community is a shared ethics of caring. The ethics of a caring community generates 3 outcomes: trust, sanctuary, justice. Each outcome depends on a critical mass of those living in the community. Critical mass means that there is a sufficient number, more than half, that would create a momentum toward an outcome. Trust means to have confidence in someone, to have hope, acceptance of vulnerability based on positive expectations of the intentions or behavior of another. Safely driving a car is an example of trust. We depend on other people to obey traffic rules that make us safe. There will be drivers who are reckless, but the critical mass are not. Generally, our neighbors obey the traffic rules. A sanctuary is a person or place of refuge, a shelter from danger or hardship. If our community cares in our time of need, others will support us as best they can. If a tornado hits our home, our neighbors will help our family. If our power goes out in sub-zero weather, one of our neighbors will give our family shelter. The Zulu community calls this Sawubona, meaning we see you. In a caring community, we are not alone. Justice is being treated fairly and with respect. Justice also means the presence of a responsible authority that protects our rights and ensures fair consequences to those who would harm them. In a caring community, we feel safe. Trust, sanctuary, and justice requires citizens who have an ethical core of caring. Without this ethical core, suspicion, fear, and anxiety become dominating forces. These forces push communities to drift toward fragmentation and collapse. Where there is trust, sanctuary, and justice, though, a community can thrive in safety, support, and fairness. A caring community is more than me when me becomes we.